Two big-time brands in Orbitkey and Bellroy. We're looking at their tech kits today, taking a look, doing a deep dive in the packability, the versatility, the compartmentalization, how much these things can carry, and then ultimately, which one you should take with you on your trips. So let's get into it. Let's take a look at the Bellroy tech kit. It is made out of a nice recycled ripstop on the outer, but it's all recycled materials here. Only leather on this one is going to be on the leather pull tab here. On the zipper, we have a nice little swatch here at the bottom of the zipper with the Bellroy branded owl, and then again at the top with the Bellroy name. A nice metal zipper here, very robust. No weatherproofing or anything on this, but you are getting a nice metal zipper, not plastic, which is great to see. Opens very smoothly, closes very smoothly. No stiffness or any friction, so a nice smooth track here. Only a single zipper, so you can see it doesn't open up from either end, just to the one end, but it does open up fully, as you can see here, so it can lie flat. Gives you easy access to whatever you need when you want to put your items into the tech kit. As I said, it is recycled nylon, recycled materials on the inside as well, ripstop on the outer. But let's take a look and see what we're working with here. So upon opening it up, you're gonna see you have the nice branded owl here. You have two elasticized spots here to place some items. We'll pack this out in a little bit, but just as you can see, a nice divided section here, a little spandexy material. Gives you a little bit of flexibility to throw and pack that out. A spot here to throw a pen or an S Pen for one of your devices or a legitimate pen or pencil. We have some elasticized bands here to throw some cords. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2 larger ones and 3 smaller ones. A magnetic floating divider here, opening up the section in the rear. So it gives you a nice big spot at the back here. And as you can see in the back of this tech kit, you have a spot here as well. You can throw some smaller items, maybe some earbuds, some memory cards, things of that nature. But again, some small sections. Here's another little section here. Very odd. I'll be honest, that's an odd section in the tech kit here. Nothing on this side, unfortunately. So a little bit of a strange use of space, not utilized totally. So half of this section is open, but this one is closed off. But we have a little bit of a message here from Bellroy in terms of the fabrics and where it is made. But let's pack this out and see how much we can fit into the Bellroy tech kit organizer. Now, I usually have a gripe with these kind of like spandexy, elasticized sections in slings or tech kits is usually sometimes, you know, it gets a little floppy and droopy and things can fall out. But one thing I do like about this one is the height. The added height on this makes it so even if it is a little droopy, structure kind of gets a little bit loose over time, things aren't going to fall out as easily because you know, it's going to be covered from the height and the length of the fabric. As you're going to see here, like if I throw in this battery bank, if this was a little bit shorter, you know, as you see in some slings, things will fall out, but you're not gonna have that issue with this tech kit. So just wanted to make that clear. That's usually a gripe of mine, but with this, not so bad. So we threw in a battery bank, 10,000 milliamp battery bank. We'll throw in a 5,000 milliamp battery bank just to show you that'll also fit in there. Or, you know, if you wanna just throw a wallet in here, you can do a little card holder, that would fit as well. As I mentioned, for your S Pen or any type of pen, you can throw that in here. Another spot for a pen, if you wanted to, at the top here. But that is kind of what we're working with on this section. We have a little bit of space, you know, if you wanted to throw some cords in here, you probably could fit some cords, but we're gonna save that for here. But just know there is a little extra room on either end here. But let's get into the cords and see what we can fit in here. So we got one, see here, we got 2. And as I mentioned, you have these 3 smaller sections. That's gonna be, if you have any shorter cords, we could probably put some on this end here. Let's see if we can fit it in. There we go. And then we'll throw in maybe this on this end here. And we'll throw in a little, let's see if we can get if that'll fit. Perfect. So we got some good organization thus far in the back We have also some space. We could probably fit, here's an iPhone 16 Pro. That fits in no problem. Tiny bit of space on the end here. Maybe we can throw some earbuds. And then again, this space is the strange space for me. I'm not sure how I feel about the utilization of the space here, but as I mentioned, you could probably put some memory cards in the back here. You're really not gonna be able to do anything special in that really odd space. Fit one in here, and there we go. But that's kind of what we're working with in terms of packing out the Bellroy tech kit. Let's see if we can close it up. Should close up, no problem. Stands up, no problem. And again, there you have it. Let's get into what I think the winner of this one is going to be, the Orbitkey. In terms of materials, this one definitely feels a little different in the hand. This one is a Cyclopet PU laminated material on the exterior. It is not waterproof or water resistant to what I know, though on this one, on the zippers here, you are getting some waterproofing on that zipper. So zippers are waterproof. In terms of how this is set up, you have a little Orbitkey branding on the top here, but a little loop, a little grab loop. So if you want to pick this off the desk or the table or pull it out of a bag, gives you a little bit of added feature there. So you can have a little strap to easily pull things out and not fumble around. You also have on the side here, on both ends, another strap. This one, I believe, is if you want to kind of hang that or clip that on like a carabiner or clip that onto something. The option is there, or you hang like a little Apple AirTag off the end. A little bit of a versatility feature on either end of the bag. Orbitkey branding on the front. One single zipper at the front opens up to a sectioned off compartment, and the main compartment access on this nylon pull tab. Unlike the Bellroy one, this one does in fact open from either side, so that's always nice. And as I mentioned, the waterproofing, this is not metal, though it still opens and closes quite nicely. The track is nice and smooth, not offering a lot of friction, so that's always nice to see. You're not gonna struggle opening this up. So speaking of opening it up, let's get into it. So let's take a look at that front section, that single zippered front section. Upon opening it up, it is just one singular space, no compartments, no dividers, just one open space for your items. And like the Orbitkey slings I featured in a video prior to this, you do have that cable pass through that allows you access from one side to the other. In the main compartment, when you open it up, you have two sections here, two elasticized bands to put, an S Pen or a physical pen. And in the compartment in the very front of that main section, you have kind of four spots that are divided. The dividers are nice and firm, nice and structured. Nothing's gonna flop around, nothing is gonna fall out. So I really like to see some nice sturdy form in this tech kit. But you have those elasticized pouches that are open from the top, and then right in front of it, you have two other slots and sections to place items in. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4 with a nice firm divider. So with the Orbitkey, what makes it kind of cool is it is a 2-in-1. It actually has a quick access pouch that is removable. And this is kind of for if you have some items that you really use daily, that you use a lot. Rather than fumbling around all the time when you open this up and kind of fishing for things, you can just take this straight out and get right to the items that you need. So we're gonna get into this in a second, but let's just finish looking at that. When that quick access pouch is removed, it opens up into a really large open space. So depending on whether you have this in here or not, we're gonna show you with this back in here in a second, but you do have a possibility just to have it packed out like this with one great open space with that kind of spandex material. These three pouches in the back. But let's take a look at this. We're gonna take a look at this. We'll put it back in so you can see. With this quick access pouch, you have a section here, again, for the S Pen or a pen. Opening up, you have a nice open space at the front and a really great cable packing system with these elasticized bands here, even for like a charger. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections that are open from the top to the bottom, so for cables and chargers and things like that. A nice firm divider, nice in section, keeping things nice and clean. Opening to the back with another section here with 3 pouches to place some items in. And I'll show you again what this looks like when it's all here. So technically, if you have everything in here, you still have access to all the spaces. nice and clean. When you open it up, all divided up. Here's that little quick access pouch, and then you can still pull it from the back and get access to the rear of the tech kit. Let's pack this bad boy out. So we're gonna speed this up and let's see how much we can pack into this bad boy. So between these two tech pouches, tech kits, what is the one to choose? Maybe this could be considered an unfair comparison, seeing that one is a 2-in-1 tech kit, but I keep them in the same category because in terms of footprint and surface area, when these are packed out, obviously the Orbitkey is a little bit bigger, a little bit heftier, but they don't take up that much more space. Either of them are very similar. Putting them in a bag, putting them in the backpack, they're gonna end up taking up just as much space no matter what you go with. So for me, that is kind of why I group these two together. One being a 2-in-1, Bellroy just being it is what it is, you get what you get. It's really gonna come down to price point and then value for that price point. The Orbitkey is gonna push you a little bit, maybe $10 to $15 more than the Bellroy tech kit. So if that $10 to $15 is something that's not manageable, obviously you're not gonna be considering the Orbitkey. But I do feel for an extra $10 to $15, that extra added value, the waterproofing of the zippers, that 2-in-1 feature where you can have that quick access pouch for the things that you really need. You don't have to be fumbling around. I just think the versatility and value that it offers for that little increase and bump up in price, it's really, really tough to beat. The materials are all very similar to me. One is not vastly superior than the other. They're both really well-made tech kits. I'm always a big fan of Bellroy. I think they make great stuff. But in this particular comparison, I think it's pretty hard to beat what you get in this tech pouch by Orbitkey. Vastly superior in terms of packability, better compartmentalization, and other than it not opening up fully like the Bellroy one that opens up flat like a suitcase, which is not a huge deal breaker to me, and I don't think it'd be a deal breaker to a lot of people. I think more people would rather have the access to versatility, the quick access pouch. I think it's tough to beat. So for me, I think if you're considering between the two, it's a clear choice for me. The Orbitkey is the winner here. But as always, let me know in the comments below what you think, as I know everybody has a little bit different opinions of things, so I'd be interested to see what you guys feel. Thank you so much for watching. Be safe out there, everybody. Take it easy, and until the next one.